Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday, the 17th of November. So, what we got in store today then? Let's have a look at the news events first. And, well, let's just update that. That is updated. So, retail sales disappointed this morning in the UK. They're supposed to come out at 0.5, actually came out at minus 0.3. Just shows you how tight the interest rates are affecting or how much the tight interest rates are affecting the economy from a retail point of view. It's quite hitting by looks of things, and this so close to Christmas isn't probably what anyone wants to see. Anyway, of course we've got Black Friday coming in. Maybe they're saving their money for the big Black Friday sales, etc. It could be. Anyway, so what we got ahead of us, the Guard is speaking at 8:30, due to speak at the Frankfurt European Bank Congress. Okay, now I was reading this morning, and apparently traders are fully pricing 100 basis points of ECB cuts in 2024, so it's a bit of a dovish euro on that basis. Now it's whether someone like Lagarde comes out and gets all a bit hawkish, it might see the euro switching sides for a little while at least. Anyway, let's have a look at what those sides. Oh, sorry, the rest of this morning or the rest of today. US building permits. Can't see that as being a big mover later, so we're left there. So yesterday we were sitting there looking, whilst this candle was running around, we were sitting there looking at the bearish Arami on the dailies there. Never really triggered the bottom. But put almost an inside bar in there yesterday, and today looking a tad soft as we look at it in a moment. A break of the absolute lows here should give us around about a 1-to-1. So this could play this morning. We should get we've got basically a double top here, possibly some divergence running across. Well, most likely some divergence running across those highs there. So we could see around about a 1-to-1 from the high to the low of the body there, kicking in if it kicks, and I would give it a bit of time this morning. Anyway, sorry, I didn't get any lower than that. Let's just go down the lower time frames here. You can see how choppy and ugly it is at the moment. Never really did too much yesterday. We got a little old booster about 1 o'clock, and it gave it all back in a couple of hours later, three hours later. So looking at on the softer side, holding up, and really I'm still waiting to see if it comes back into this regression range. So it's sort of, yeah, got a potential of running back in towards the midpoint. The pound is looking softer for sure, not helped this morning by those retail sales. We've got a lower high coming in here on the 4-hourlies, and it just looks pretty soft. As we sit and watch it at the moment, we see a continuation through the post 8 o'clock. I would expect something more significant. Yesterday it never happened, never materialized. It just literally went. I was expecting something a little bit more to the downside. We looked at it again later, and we just sort of, oh yeah, there's a bull flag sitting there on the 4-hourlies. I sort of managed to miss that. It did run up towards its daily pivot, and then really that was it. But it wasn't my choice of trades yesterday. But it well, got part of the way there. Hasn't worked the flag out, and looking soft-ish at the moment again. Okay, US dollar yen, not really interested in these pairs. The Aussie dollars now, having seen it sort of more bullish sort of movements, it's well, it's coming off a little bit at the moment. It's put this pivot sort of swing in again. We saw one back here and saw it roll over a bit. We're seeing another one here. We could see a bit more of a correction. We also saw one at the bottom, and it corrected big time that way. It's swinging from one side to another. So it's ranging basically on the lower time frames when you see it. Got these ranges. There is a scope for it to come back off south. Arguably still in a sort of a flaggish pattern on the 4-hourlies there, but lower highs coming through, and it is looking very weak, and well, probably best avoided. US dollar CAD is not playing too well for the Canadians. It's the CAD again Yesterday's softness prevailed, and well, we could see more to the upside here. The US dollar strengthening against the Canadian dollar, more break today at some point above these highs would give us a higher low and some scope for a continuation. Today we've got the R1. I mean, there's a few areas where it could be pitching off to if you can keep the momentum. More likely to enjoy this in the afternoon. They do go off in the morning, but we often see the better movements coming through later on. New Zealand dollar's just softened off significantly, but quite a bit anyway. Actually, if you was looking at the Aussie dollar and thinking, oh, I might trade that, this looks better for the short side at the moment. It's already triggering and going. It's looking softer. Sentiment on the New Zealand dollar from the Commitment Traders report is very weak, or strong to the downside, I should say. We could see this coming off some more. It's already into its S1 here. Good chance if it then if it breaks back down below it, getting down towards the S2 at least. Not a massive target there, but some opportunities. Euro yen, don't normally mention this too much in the mornings. There is a little short-term short setting up, but on the lower time frames. But be wary of this. It's a market that is still, I keep on saying it, I said it the other day, and it sort of made me look a fool. It immediately rolled over, and in the very next bar, and only to go back up there and take the highs out. So I wasn't feeling too bad at the end of the day. Now this is just setting up a little signal for a short sell, but I'm talking not very much at all. We'll probably see just past the S2 if it does run, but it's a short-term intraday sell if it occurs, and it needs to occur after 8:15. Very precise on that one. Just all my analysis on it. If it happens before, leave it alone and forget about it. It will bite you. Euro, Aussie, Euro CAD actually is still one of my favourites. We got a decent trade out of this yesterday. It's in such a lovely trend here. I've been sort of looking for the retracements, but we got the retracement yesterday. It just took a little bit of time to get the zing. We saw it in the morning. It dilly-dallied for a little bit there, and then off it went quite nicely. We're seeing it consolidate again here. I like the idea at some stage this morning. Maybe it's got a wide old target up to its R1, but it is in this really lovely trend, and the Canadian dollar remains pretty weak and unfavoured by the big money. So we'll see how this develops this morning. The euro, I know, is looking soft at the moment, but as long as the Canadian's softer, that's all we care about here. So there we go. There's some markets to look at and potentially take further and trade. Right, let's have a quick look then. Currently short on the pound Swissy. Could you have a little bit of analysis? I can. Kaylin, well, morning, welcome. Yeah, tell me what part of Ireland you're from. My young lady's from Dublin. Sorry. What are we looking at then? The pound Swissy. Don't look at this very often. So looking at the pound Swissy then, what we got going. Ugh. This is why I don't look at it too much. It gets into amazing chop areas. It has moved into sort of a bit more swingy and a bit better, clearer movement more recently here. From what I can see here, it's already put a lower high in. It looks weak, and it looks weak from what I'm looking at here. Break of these lows, could see a continuation to the downside. It's already had quite a move there. That retail sales data has not helped things at all. We've seen it, the euro pound move quite significantly this morning, and yeah, so we've seen these sort of quite quick, solid moves. Really a breakdown. It does look soft, but you're not far from bottoming out possible range. It could just slow. It's had its impact of the news. Might even come back a little bit from the double bottom here. If you're looking intraday, if you're looking at the bigger time frames, to me it's with that lower high, and if it can close below the pivot today, the monthly pivot there. It could have some more scope to run down towards this S1 and these prior lows. It does look, as I say, a bit on the softer side. Okay, there you go. Right. There's your pound Swissy. Right, let's get on and look at a bit of gold. I need to switch lists for this, and we'll look at gold. There she is. So gold continuing the ride to the upside. I did say that earlier in the week here when we had the bullish run, then the pivot swing, and then it's just continuing pushing up here at the moment. Opportunities might be a little bit more difficult. It's got a possible breakout trade here. I'd prefer a breakout retest and a move a little bit further on there. So okay, yeah, you must have sinned a lot then. I'm joking. Sorry. Yep. So we got the potential of a continued push up here on this gold. As I say, it could be, yeah, an earlier breakout there. Oil. Let's have a look at lower time frames here. Oil, higher time frames, beg your pardon. Continued to sell yesterday. Just really, I mean, just tore it away yesterday. Continued through there. There are supplies, and it's having its effect, and the build ups of supplies there. Once again, it's a bit of I mean, like we saw yesterday here at 2 o'clock. That's the time. Looking late then for post 2 o'clock for me as well. Again, we'll just see what happens. Won't count on a day like on another day like this, but it's the time to be trading Western Texas anyway. Right, okay, that was that. Did we see? Let's just have a look. Did Brent move the same about that time? It did. Yeah, big volumes coming in that time. Big move there as well on Brent. Same. Right, quick look at the S&Ps. So we've S&P still consolidating around here. Maybe we'll see more of the same. I'm skeptical. I'm a little bit sort of is this going to really push up any further? We're already into its monthly R2 here. We've got previous resistance from horizontal resistance sitting here as well. Maybe it'll hold on. It's held up better than I expected, to be fair. I was waiting to see if it showed its hand and rolled over, but you see from 4-hourly perspective, it's still sitting there holding up, and what it holds up there, chances are it will continue. So I'm not looking to short it from here, but I'm waiting for it to see if it does start breaking to get on the potential short sides. The DAX has been pushing on solidly here. Another reasonably solid day yesterday. Interesting how the DAX has done quite so well, whilst the US market's not really doing too much at all. Anyway, got some potential further upside here. I mean, it could be running into its monthly R2. It's not that far away, but I would expect resistance around those prior highs in that R2. The FTSE much more choppy. Yesterday ended up back down again. The outlook on this isn't so great. Oil prices does really affect the FTSE somewhat. So yeah, there we go. So that is really it for this morning. FTSE looking softish, but it might just come back up there. It is playing around its regression trend line really at the moment. So. Right, on that note, yesterday I did say, one last thing, I did sell, but we had another sort of a push up there on Wednesday. Again, I was speaking about it could get back up there. It's got the potential to fail. There's a monthly pivot, you can't see it on here as well, at that same level. It's sort of managed to hide it. It's like sitting underneath here. Let's just come back, actually come down one more step. There you go, there's the monthly pivot as well. So plenty of confluence around that area at this stage. doesn't mean to say we won't see a break of that at some stage. I'm quite sort of starting to look at this market a little bit more, and it's looking like it's got some scope, but we have got an untouched pivot below. Could be a drawdown for that yet. But anyway, I was just showing why we've seen some quite solid resistance in the short term, at least, on Bitcoin. Right, I will leave it there. Have a great weekend, and I will catch you all on Monday, or Monday as we prefer to call it. Take care. Bye for now. Everyone moans on Monday.